Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, John Coggle, yeoman philosopher for Art and Stratus for the next 2 weeks. So, what has happened? We have been beaten over the heads with be afraid, be fearful. And it was going to work. It really was. The military-industrial complex. Now remember, I'm a capitalist. I believe in business. But the military-industrial complex was really an attempt to consolidate power. What you had was a belief structure that said everybody was out to get us, so we have to build this entire military system to protect us against all these enemies, which required us to create massive amounts of equipment, which was mass production, which meant that man's muscle was tied to the machine. And what they had been struggling with ever since the late 60s was the fact that technology was becoming more and more of the tool that freed man's muscle from the machine, and more importantly, freed man's mind to go where it wanted to go. And, this becomes a really startling revelation when you go from the early to mid-70s until today, where people in the 70s could not have imagined everyone having the technological devices that we have today. What this has done is basically freed us from having to work. Yes, you still have to produce some level of income, but you don't have to be tied to a machine in order to make it happen. This becomes a very powerful tool for the individual, but not so good a tool for a government or a business. They fight this type of thing. Why? Because they don't like democracy. They don't like the fact that people are responsible for themselves. We want to be free. They want us to still be tied to the machines, to the desks. And it becomes a very important philosophical battle for us. But technology has allowed us to move to a place where you can work from a coffee shop. You can push a button and order a shirt, and it will be custom made for you and shipped to your home in 2 days. In the 60s, this was unheard of, unthought of. Look where we are just 50 years later, and now you start seeing the one thing that, again, the governments have missed all along. People just want to be free. Not just in other countries, but here as well. So what does this really bode for Americans? Are we ready to step away from the shackles of being the slave of the machine?